Very exciting between our two teams in the upper bracket final. So let's do it. Let's get it on. Here we go for game number 2 between Power of Friendship and Canton High School. Canton High School with the 1 game advantage. So here we go. We've got Canton immediately with the TP out to mid. He's going to be putting his word down somewhere. Taking a little bit of time on it. Naps manages to be scouted out by ODB, who has not put his word down. And Naps hasn't put down either of his words as well. PMA Dota over to the high ground near the rune. Just me sitting up there, seeing if anybody puts down a word, which nobody's gotten anything in that area of the map. Konko has put down the observer word over on the Radiant mid, which he did get in the last game. Alright, so let's go through and introduce our teams for game number 2. Here on the Darks here for Canton High School is going to be enough. We've got a Keeper of the Light, that's going to be PMA Dota. Bloodseeker with the Immortal. Let's take a quick look at him. You don't really get to see it too well when it's paused, but he is going to be played by Wilferzu. We've got Crystal Maiden, that's going to be Naps. And then finally, Ember Spirit is going to be played by Jericho. Here on Power Friendship for the Dire side, we've got Smax253 playing the Weaver. Leech Commander will be played by Gigan. We've got Shadow Fiend, he'll be handled by Zaturk. We've got Konko playing the Nyx Assassin. And then finally the THD played by ODB to finish off the Dire side. So here we go, game number 2. If Canton win this one, they will have themselves a spot in the grand final. And whichever poor team that wins the next match in the lower bracket will have to play Power of Friendship. Of course, that's if Canton win this one. If Power of Friendship win it, that means we're going to a deciding game number 3 here on Dota 2 night in the HSL. And we've got the Bounty Rune living for a little bit over at bottom, but Wilferzu will manage to pick that up. I definitely have a lot of faith in Canton's execution, but will the power of the comfort picks show its head here for Power of Friendship? So Sadurk on the mid lane will be trying to get that early game prowess against Jericho here, and you know the damage isn't as bad as it used to be at all for the Shadow Fiend. He's at 54 as opposed to Jericho's 63, so he should be doing pretty okay. Enough with the Iron Shell over top, and that's very dangerous. He shows that he doesn't have levels into the Surge at all, and Konko could go for him. There's a dual breath into the Impale, but it doesn't really look like Smax is going to be hitting this at all, and you know you can't really chase that down. But what this does mean is that Enough is going to be forced out of the lane for quite a bit, so it's kind of greedy to go that far up and use the Iron Shell, especially against the tri-lane. You might lock yourself out of a couple of levels, especially if that tri-lane knows that you're not really going to be able to get to level 2 very easily. So the Clarity gets taken off. There's a dual breath into the Impale. That's probably your first blood. Yeah. And he even gives Konko a hat before he goes. That's just what not having the Surge does for you. It should be relatively easy to get away from that duo if you have a Surge available, but unfortunately not having it there really hurt the Slark. Or sorry, the Darkseer. Wow. Slark isn't even in this game. So a good start for Power of Friendship and a very sad one for the Darkseer. You see him still trying to get up to level 2. He'll probably get it from the medium camp here. So Turk seems to be having a really good time at the mid lane. 8 for 8 on top of the Ember Spirit's 5 and 2. I mean, Ember Spirit's got to be careful. He's trying to go for as many denies as possible, but Shadow Fiend's really had his measure this time around, and Saturk, he is absolutely dominating this lane. Jericho has to be very careful when he gets that far up. Brown Boots first for Zaturk. That means that the Jericho's going to have to be even more careful in that lane. Nice little deny for Wilferzu. Konko does get an Invis rune and might go right for Jericho, who does have the Flame Shield available. And does he actually put himself in danger? He's got to hit the Impale. Does get it. One raise. No. Okay, Flame Shield's already gone. Oh, manages to try to use the Fairy Fire there, but it doesn't manage to keep him alive. And Zaturk picks up another, well, the second blood here. Another one for Power of Friendship. Meanwhile, at bottom, Gigan could be in some trouble. PMA Dota has the Illuminate available, and he's going to try to TP out. Is it damage there? No. Will for Zoo couldn't quite get him out of that one. He's thirsting, but unfortunately, there is no blood for him. Very close, but no cigar. Nobody's getting roasted here. As again, Power of Friendship have the early CS lead over Canton. But again, this is something that happened last time. Smack's farming up pretty well at top. He's going to be at his Ring of Aquila pretty soon. And Zaturk, of course, having a good time at mid. You can see he's really happy because he just taunted there. Jericho trying to get as many last hits as possible, but you know, even against a Shadow Fiend, he's just not really being able to penetrate onto the high ground at all, and that's just a lot of, you know, control had in the mid lane for Zaturk. There's double damage rune available, and Zaturk's going to go over and pick that up in his bottle. And Power Friendship, it looks like they want to go over towards top, or they could go to mid. Smoke is on them, but they don't have as much room to work with against Jericho here. They're going to start with the Ice Path, and it just misses. And that's going to be as far as that attempt goes. Meanwhile, at bottom, Wilferzu still trying to go for Gagan at level nearly 4 here. Wow, Gagan's actually doing a lot of damage to him. Gagan has lots of ways to survive in this lane. Especially when he gets a couple of lucky procs with the whatever, Moment of Courage. I can never remember the Legion Commander things. Healing Salve picked up and used on Bloodseeker. You know, every single time that side pull goes off, Gagan's really able to contest it well. They really want to chase down Gagan here. The damage should be good from Wilt for Zoo, but the PMS on Legion Commander makes things so difficult there. So Zaturk's still doing really well in mid. He's got a double damage rune as well. So Jericho, I mean, he's probably going to want to keep one of those fire remnants ready to get out as soon as possible, because Zaturk really could start throwing in some huge damage. There's one raise. Oh man. You really got to be careful there. Wolferzu continues to get some good Blood Rage hits onto the creeps. Oh, enough! Will be hit by the Impale, and that's a kill for Smacks. Just hit him in the trees, maybe guessed a little bit. Well, he guessed, and he guessed correctly. That's enough to get the kill on enough. Got him. So Turk still with the double damage rune at mid. There will be a wraparound from Crystal Maiden, but that Crystal Maiden has to be so careful. I mean, lucky that Shadow Fiend goes to the low ground there. Triple Remnant in to try to get the kill, but there's going to be a couple TPs through. Can Zaturk try to do this one? Very far used! Oh, he can't do it. Dual Breath comes through, but Jericho's going to be completely fine with the Flame Guard here. Oh, man. You know, he was just a little bit unlucky that he went down to the lower ground there before the Crystal Maiden went into that fight. If he hadn't, he might have been able to turn things around and at least get the kill onto her. Especially with all the damage that he was doing. Like, she's not very tanky at all. Just 680 health. Couple of Iron Branches. She's probably not going to stand against a double damage Shadow Fiend, who gets right into the lane and gets Ooh, man. That was really not pretty. So Gigan, again, trying to go onto Wilfer Zoo. Conkle makes his way here. Their Blood Rage is going to be healing up Wilfer Zoo a bit. And with Gigan on very low health, they really can't go on to the Bloodseeker there. Haste Rune for Zaturk. Pick it up in the bottle. Nice little rune for him. Jakir probably wants to stop enough with his hard camp farming here. I'm not sure if he got the last hit on that one. Enough gets back into that camp though. Gets another Ion Shell on himself. Liquid Fire only at level 1. Ion Shell will do some damage to him. Enough gets away though. The Ice Path will not hit him. Nice little evasion from Enough there. But Haste Rune pop by Zaturk. He's going to go over there. And, oh, misses the raise. He's still hasted. Can probably pick up the Darks here, but he's going to have to move really fast for it. Surge is going to get him away as the Turk will relentlessly chase him out. One last hit needed. The vacuum is not going to hit, but there's the Requiem of Souls that's going to pick him up. And he's going to get out with the TP. Well, when you can't find him in the trees, you may as well just throw out the Requiem. And manage to get the kill eventually. Both heroes moving at the speed of light or sound or whatever you want to think of there. Gigan's still at bottom. Doesn't have the most mana, but oh man, PMA Dota is so low. You can see that Gigan would really want to get the dual damage out there, but will he be greedy enough? He does not have enough mana for the press the attack and duel. At least for now. Now he does. Over at top, though, there's the Rupture onto Conkle, and he's going to use the Spike Carapace to try to... Oh, no. You can't do that, man. Nice triple Ice Pass. Max trying to do some damage. At least the Rupture wasn't on him, but Wilfers, who gets a kill, will be immediately slowed here. Yeah, and he's going to heal up a lot. He still has the Ion Shell on his head. And the Blood Rage. It's not really something that Smax this early wants to initiate into. And you can see he's very quickly building up a Lincoln's, even before he managed to pick up any boots. And the Bloodseeker will be making his way towards the Yasha after he has his phases. The Turk's still at mid. He's got some power treads. And oh no, they know exactly where Wilfer Zoo is. Starting with the Impale. Getting the Ice Path there. Dual Breath is going to keep him there even longer. There's the Blood Right, and it's not going to help him stay alive at all. Conkle picks up that kill. Yeah, just a little bit unlucky. There were heroes right there on the high ground as he was just waiting to, I don't know, maybe go over towards the Shadow Fiend at mid. But Power Friendship managed to pick up another kill here. They are leading there. But again, Canton High School, this is pretty much how the last game went. So they are definitely used to coming from a little bit behind. But they need that farm to continue on Ember Spirit. PMA Dota will not be hitting the... Yep, okay. Conkle out. He's going to be fine. At top, Enough gets away from the Weaver as the mid tower falls. It's our first tower of the game. There will be a Veil soon for Jericho. Still going for that magic damage Ember Spirit as Gigan. Look how fast he's moving for PMA Dota there. And he's going to try to get out. Oh, man. Nearly had the damage that they needed, but again, they just miss it. So close to having that. Again, close but not quite for the Bloodseeker. It just seems like he's just narrowing and missing some of these kills. And Power Friendship always seem to have those TP scrolls when they need to get out. So Turk will have a Shadow Blade soon. Which, as long as he's not low, will be fine. If he is too low, the Bloodseeker will be able to see him. As at bottom, Gigan. Alright, There is the blood or the rupture on him, and he's going to try to run away over towards the shrine. There'll be a TP in from the Jakiro, who eventually cancels it, or maybe has it canceled by Darksphere's vacuum over at top, and Smack's going to go after him. His path is going to miss, so he's going to try to Shikuchi after him. Still has vision thanks to the Swarm, and the Swarm, they try to take it off, but Smacks does not get the Shikuchi off in time, but enough still has to try to back away, and that Geminate Swarm will chase him down. Manage to get the kill, looking for the bonus kill with the Shikuchi onto Naps, wanting to get the damage out there. Another Geminate Swarm, one more hit will do it, and Naps is not going to get out. Impale manages to take it as the Turk finds some kills over at bottom. Duel out onto the Bloodseeker, he's going to fall as well, and I think that it's a 4-for-1 as Jakiro goes down to Jericho over at top. But man, some great fights from Power Friendship all over the map. Taking some great kills there and even getting some dual damage on Gigan now. And those are the kinds of fights that Canton really can't let happen. They need at least someone continuing to farm on the map. And sure, Ember Spirit has his Veil of Discord now, but although Discord is a really nice program to use, might not help him out a huge amount here. Rupture out onto Zaturk as he tries to go into the Wrecking Missiles. That's what Canton High School needed, and they try to chase down Beach Commander a little bit, but she gets her Blink Dagger from the side shop and then blinks away as soon as possible. There's a regen rune here. PMA Dota goes over to Gigan. He's probably going to stop that regen rune as soon as... Nope. He really can't. PMA Dota goes over towards north, puts on the ward, and will be hit by the impale. There's a duel, and yep, goodbye Coddle. And now Wolfazoo could be in a little bit of trouble as well. Dual Breath is there. Smacks gets into the fight as well. So he's trying to get Wolfazoo out, but he's trying to chase him down with the Jacuzzi. Doesn't really even need to. Jericho on the backside. Naps is going to fall as a triple remnant in from Jericho, doing some huge damage here, along with the Veil of Discord, but he doesn't have a whole lot of mana to go on anymore. Gagan still trying to get out. That Flame Shield is still going for Jericho. Nice vacuum on the 3. By enough, and Konkel's still right next to Jericho with the Flame Shield, which eventually does expire as the Turk gets in the fight, though misses the raise as a nice Surge gets Jericho out of that fight. Nice play from enough there. Really good vacuum, and then the Surge gets Ember Spirit out of that fight. And that turns into a very even exchange with Canton getting a slight edge, but going really where it needs to. Ember Spirit on his way to the Boots of Travel, he'll have it in 800 gold. So it's very important that he manages to stay alive in these fights. Meanwhile, PMA Dota will have an Aghanim Scepter pretty soon. Oh no, Naps, 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 you can't be doing this now. You can't be taking a nap on us here. That duel though, it's not... Oh, it does give him the damage. That was so close to not doing it, but just the slight bit of damage there at the end ended up picking the Crystal Maiden kill, which will get Leech Commander closer to her Blade Mail, as well as a little bit more damage for her. And now Power of Friendship. Oh man, Canton. They're around the Roshan pit. They're probably going to go for Saturk here. There's the running in. All right, Shadow Blade is going to walk towards the Radiant side, away from the rest of his team. There's the Blinding Light into the middle of that Blood Rage. Not really where Saturk wanted to be at all. And there's going to be a Rupture onto ODB now. He continues to try to walk away. Macro Power placed down. There's a Vacuum pulling ODB around, and they're going to be able to kill him. Nice little running in from Jericho. Now they did dive this pretty far. Wilferzoo will be right next to the bug as Smacks comes in and Shikuchi's away immediately. Canton High School want to try to take their first tower of the game. Wolferzoo with the Ion Shell still underneath the tower. There will be a tower taken by Power Friendship over at bottom. Impale goes out onto Jericho. Keep him there for a couple seconds, but nice little Sleight of Fist onto 2. I'm going to force him out with the Blood Right. Now Smack still wants to try to fight here. Wolferzoo is taking some damage from the tower. Gets fortified, stopping Canton High School for a little bit, so they will not get their first tower of the game. And look at that. Radiance could be up for grabs on Wolferzoo. It's going to take him a while to build that up, but maybe that's what Canton High School need in this type of game. Boots of Travel finished on Ember Spirit. PMA Dota still working for the Aghanim Scepter. Needs to keep farming up in the jungle. to be able to get that. Got a lot of items being built up here. Weaver, or Smacks, he's got his Lincoln Sphere, so no boots. But he should move fast enough with the Jakkuchi. It just means that he's going to be moving really slow when he doesn't have that. But he's got the Lincoln Sphere, so it gives him a little bit more mana as well as some survivability without that move speed. Wolfer Zeus still farming. I mean, he's farming up really well for building up that Radiance. Needs about 1800 gold to get to the Sacred Relic, which is a pretty big part of it. But we've kind of entered that farming stage of the game here. Shadow Fiend will be taking some damage from this one. Starts charging out the Requiem, but he's just going to Shadow Blade himself out. Still, both of these teams have sort of calmed down a little bit. Enough seems ready to go over at top. He needs a couple more levels, at least one, so we can get level 2 into the wall. Been prioritizing, his abilities at this point. Nothing into the talents, even at level 12. So Canton High School, I mean, they're in a similar position as last game. They've kept the net worth very close. They are slightly behind on kills, but they don't seem too phased by it. They seem to trust their team quite a bit. Canton making his way through with the Vendetta, maybe getting some scouting done. There doesn't seem to be any vision here for Canton High School. Just waiting here up on the high ground. There's a dust on Darkseer, but you need to be able to use the dust, and random dusts aren't really what we see from teams most of the time. Jericho might want to be careful. Although Zaturk has made his way towards his own side of the map. He does have the Shadow Blade. Ooh, Gagan, what the heck, dude? He's going for naps. Oh, blinks around. That could have been really close. Smacks moving forward. Will be hit by the Illuminate there. They could go for the, Coddle. Not going to find him, though. So still a couple of hits and misses in this game. Remember, Canton are up by 1 game so far in this best of 3, this upper bracket final. More XP for the Jakiro. It's really had a fun time trying to get up to level 10 so far. Who's a Turk? Requiem Missiles is actually dodged by Jericho. Man, I don't think he even knew that was going on, but he got the Sleight of Fist off before that Requiem came out. Very nice play by him. And now they're going to get the Rupture out on the Gigan. He has to walk out, uses the Blade Mail. There's the Frostbite, and that should be a kill. Yeah, Wolfer Zoo manages to get that and gets a healing from the Blood Rage as well. He might have been thinking about a duel there, but you really don't want to be giving damage over to the other team, even though that really doesn't tend to add up a whole lot. But, it is always a good feeling to get that duel win as a support. Naps gets the vision on the high ground, as Canton High School will probably get their first tower of the game here. We said that a couple times, but I think it will actually happen here. So they pick off the tier 1 tower, and there doesn't seem to be... There's a Smoke of Deceit on Crystal Maiden, but they're not going to smoke here. Jericho's still farming up really well. He's got his Blink Dagger. Increase the initiation there. Maybe even a little bit of escape as Bloodseeker. He's so close to his Sacred Relic. Actually has enough gold for it now. We'll have the Radiant soon. And that's such an aggressive build from him, and that should definitely help him out quite a bit. silver, or sorry, not the Silver's Edge, but the Manta style will soon be there for Zaturk, as Smacks, taking a look at him, he's going to get a Manta style as well, so they really want to try to work against the Blood Right and try to get out of it. Over at top, lots of TVs in, coming in to help the Bloodseeker. He just picked up his Sacred Relic, and Gigan, oh, what the heck? Oh my gosh, that moment of courage ends up being enough to get the kill on Wolferzu. That's just slightly unlucky. It seemed like he was so far away, but Legion Commander managed to get that kill. So, nice trade for Power of Friendship, more than they probably were asking for there. Legion might want to be a little bit more careful later, especially when Blood picks up the Radiance. It's going to be a lot more difficult for her to hit him there, and he's going to be hitting like a truck pretty soon. But, you know, you can keep being aggressive at those times, and of course he still has the Blade Mill, so the Radiance damage at least will be going back to Bloodseeker. Conkle is right next to Jericho, and it seems like Jericho doesn't know it. Manta style now finished up by Zaturk, and we'll have it on Smack soon as well. Is it smoke time? It is. Canton High School with the smoke, not under vision of the dire side at all. They're going to be going through mid. Enough gets another Iron Shell, and it's time for a pause. Wolferzu seem to be lagging a little bit, so we're going to get that figured out. And I'm probably going to take a drink because I've been casting. Oh, apparently there are 88 viewers in client. That's pretty cool. I don't even really look at those too much. Okay, so during that pause, we now have plus 30 attack speed for the Bloodseeker. Alright, let's do this. Smoke continues for Jericho and the rest of Canton High School to go for the low ground. They do have vision, blink forward, gets the Searing Chains on the Gigan. He's going to try to turn around with the duel, but the damage should be there from Canton High School as, yep, they managed to get the kill out before Jericho ends up dying there. And the Blood Right on top of these guys, Requiem of Soul from the higher ground, nearly taking these heroes down. Actually 2 dead to start. And Canton High School, they lose 3 in going for the Legion Commander kill. Nice turnaround from Power of Friendship. Really good Requiem of Souls on the high ground from Zaturk. Obviously, Zaturk couldn't really hit a couple of those uphill. But Power of Friendship, this opens it up for them to go for some damage onto the tier 2. I don't think they take it here, especially with the Coddle just spamming out those waves. He does have the Aghanim Scepter now, so you look at all the vision for them. It's really difficult for Power of Friendship to try to contend with right now. Ooh, Blinding Light. I like that play. Keeping Conkle away with the Spike Carapace and the Illuminate. Finally does get hit by it there, but tier 2 tower nearly dead. Will not fall to the... Oh, actually does. What the heck? Nobody denied it? Okay. ODB in the middle of the Blood Right. He's going to use the Yule Scepter to keep himself away from it. Meanwhile, there's the Blink, the duel on the backside. Keeper of the Light. Oh, he's not going to die to that duel. Triple Remnant, and here comes Jericho. He's got the damage, and they're going to get a 2 for 2 to start. Smacks is quite low. Does get the... time lapse off as Jericho still in the middle of all these nice double impale, but can Jericho manage to stay in the middle of this one? He got a triple, and the Sleight of Fist is not going to keep himself alive. Enough trying to get out, but that's going to be the full 5-man team up as the Turk takes the triple as well. They just stayed alive through the entire fight, and you know, eventually that wailing on the enemy team is going to do enough. Picks up 1,100 gold after that fight just on his lonesome there, and he really sets up that team fight for his team. So, I mean, these could be dark times for Canton High School. That was a really convincing fight from Power of Friendship. It was a really convincing fight from Power of Friendship. And they took care of these heroes very quickly, but still There is no Radiance on Bloodseeker. He might be foregoing that. He might be foregoing that to pick up the BKB, which is a little bit strange that you would go to the lengths to pick up the Sacred. No, he's just going to get the Radiance. Like, of course you're going to get the Radiance there. You already got the Relic. Like, why would you not? But, you know, Power of Friendship already seemed to be itemizing a bit for a couple BKBs being built for them. Some good words here as well, giving Conkle, you know, ways to get onto these heroes, figuring out where to go. Bottom lane will be pushed down by Smacks, and Leech Commander is making her way there as well. Conkle starting out on the darks here, not stacking those stuns, and there's the Leech Commander getting in for the duel. And the Blood Right is going to be there. They can't quite get the damage that they need. And Rupture is going to go out onto the Shadow Fiend, vacuum onto 2. Enough is going to die, but he didn't actually put down a wall. PMA Dota forced away. It's nighttime, so he can't really heal. Smacks gets the time lapse out. Jericho's still staying alive with the Blood Rage on him. He's healing up enough. Oh, Glimmer Cape cannot keep him alive, though. Wilford Zoo, though, he's in the middle of everything. Smacks trying to get out, and Chris Maiden still trying to do some damage there. Wilford Zoo does have the Radiance. Can it get the kill? Oh, he's still chasing him down with the burn damage. It's going to be enough. Whoa. Burn damage and the Blood Right. Actually doing some pretty substantial damage to the Weaver, and that ends up being a full 5-man team up the other way. It's going to be a 3-for-5, complete opposite of what we saw last time, which is going to be even more beneficial to Canton. Look at the Ember Spirit. He just stayed alive so long, getting really lucky with the healing from Blood Right given to him by Wilford Zoo, and it just allowed him to stay alive through that fight a little bit longer and get quite a few kills before he ended up dying. Lots of money for him. He's going to have a Lincoln Sphere soon. And that's not even a fight during the daytime, where Canton are bound to be a lot more, a lot more effective. We take a look at our net worth graph. We've got 5,000 in favor of Power of Friendship. Needs to make up its mind there. XP is a little bit of the same. Like the Yule Scepter on ODB. There was a time where I used to build Yule Scepter on Bloodseeker because I thought it was funny. I would Yule Scepter them, Blood Right, and then they couldn't get away. I don't know. I thought it was good. Don't try to explain things to my poor Dota-ridden mind. My young Dota-ridden mind. Manta style into a Diffusal Blade for Smacks. So he's going to be hitting, or smacking, for quite a bit. Heaven's Halberd now for the Bloodseeker. He's going to be hitting pretty hard, using the lock effectively there. He might start chasing Smacks right now. He needs a little bit of vision. Smacks goes through. Does see the Bloodseeker. Ooh, just missing each other there. Meanwhile, most of Power Friendship are over towards bottom. Double damage rune on the Turk. Getting ready to go around the side as enough is still here. Put the Ion Shell out onto the creeps. And, okay, Gigan getting away from these. Enough does have the vacuum available, but doesn't really have the ability to get it onto Gigan there. Blood Right is not going to be hitting. It seems like Canton really want to fight right now, but they just can't find the initiation that they need there. Push will go in through bottom for Power of Friendship. And the TPs will be there to try to stop this. Use the Blood Right to take down those illusions, as well as the Illuminate from PMA. Just have a lot of burst damage when you put the Blood Right on them. But meanwhile, over at top, oh man, that could have been close for Gigan. But he decided to get away from those 3 heroes. Force Staff on the way for Coddle. So we're still at the point in the game where both teams are trying to feel each other out. Two heroes from Power Friendship are at the top of the net worth for now. Conkle going around. He's not going to be scouted out. There's no vision on Ember Spirit. He make his way towards most of the Canton High School team, who could be able to pick up the tier 1 tower at this point. They just need a creep wave. Sorry. Minions. What the heck. Wolferzoo over to the side. Okay. There's the Shadow Blade used by Shadow Fiend, which it seems like Wolferzoo doesn't really know what to do about it. He's, oh my god, look at him being pushed around there. There's going to be the Requiem blowing up enough as the Turk still kept there with the... Oh, he's still there. Oh, they need to throw in those remnants as soon as the BKB is over, but he uses a little bit too soon. And now Jericho's in the middle of everything without like anywhere to go. There's a gem on the ground. Ember Spirit's dead. And Wolferzoo, he's still moving around here. He's going to be stunned. Oh my gosh, he's not actually dead. There's a Geminate Storm. That should kill him off. Oh, Smacks chases him down with that one. You can't evade those beetles. And Power Friendship get the 4th one. Eventually, the Turk did end up dying. But 2,300 gold to Power Friendship after that one. Good fight from Power Friendship. Excellent fight from them, actually. They did a really good, well, I mean, Zaturk just used the BKB there and just kind of stood there. Tried not to move. It was really tempting for him to try to kill himself, but he managed to not do that. And that turns into a tier 2 tower for Power Friendship. I got Gigan also with the BKB, which is turning out to be a pretty good counter for Canton High School. But, you know, eventually those BKBs are going to be low, very low durations, which makes them pretty, well, effective, but not as much as they would be. So, it's unfortunately an item that you want to pick up early and hope that it stays effective late. But, you know, even then, 5 seconds of immunity might be more than enough. You can see that Jericho really couldn't figure out when to go in on that last engagement, when that BKB was going to end, which affected him being able to blow up the Shadow Fiend with the triple remnant. Just a little bit of lag in my game there. So the net worth a little bit more on the side of Power Friendship. Got the Diffusal Blade now finished up on Smacks as well. He's really set himself up to do a huge amount of damage. You see him up to level 25 right now. So he's got that plus 200 Shikuchi movement speed for the 25 talent. These heroes are really moving through the XP right now. Plus 2 seconds on the Searing Chains for Ember. So he's really getting up there. Gigan still pushing in top. Wolferzoo is still farming as well. He's going to have a BKB soon. It's like these items are still making their way into the pockets of Canton. But again, you have to ask the question how effective they're going to be. I do like the BKB. Octarine Core soon for Ember. Maybe it helps. You know, would allow him to get a huge amount of healing if he doesn't have the Blood Right on him. Blood Rage, rather. Sorry. Conkle seems to be ready to go on to these heroes here with the Vendetta. It's going to be ending soon. Zaturk could pick up Roshan. He's going to be sitting in the pit. Conkle, oh, there's a Sentry Ward placed down, and they're not going to hit him with the dust. There's no detection on Jericho, nothing on PMA, and Crystal Maiden already used hers. So Conkle will stay alive unless enough can find him. Here comes, well, Leech Commander is in the pit right now. They're actually going to take Roshan. There was nothing for this, and Canton are going to lose out on the first Aegis. They do pick up Conkle, but that's perfectly fine. They do get a gem for it. Now, that's not bad. Jericho gets the chains onto Leech Commander as Wolferzoo, he does not get the Rupture on him as, oh no, that's not where you want to be as Wolferzoo. he is managing to stay alive a little bit. You know, the evasion helping him out there. But nope, here comes getting up to the high ground. Doesn't have the duel any longer. Naps is going to probably fall here. Maybe do as much damage as possible before he goes. But yep, he is going to end up falling there. And Canton have to just back up. So great fight for Power Friendship. I told these guys that if they let this go to a game 3 that I'll give them, I'll put $10 that I'm making from the 3rd game into the prize pool for this event. I'll give it to the first place winner. I don't know if they agreed to that or not, but looks like we could have a game 3 on our hands. Power Friendship are looking really good here. And the Turk is getting around the back lines once again. PMA Dota, oh, he might be dead. He might be super ooper dead. He gets the 4 staff out. The arrows from Leech Commander are not going to find him. The overwhelming odds, as they call them. Jericho takes down bottom, but Conquo's still there. Maybe someone comes in to help him. He's going to try to TP out. Conquo's going to stop him. But that's probably not going to be a huge problem for Jericho. He's going to do the triple remnant forward onto the Nyx Assassin. Mana Burn is going to be there. One Spike Carapace could get the Nyx out, but there's a blink into a Sleight of Fist. So looks like Jericho is going to get really mad at Conquo and end up killing him. Over at top, there's a Blood Right to keep Power Friendship out. The Turk is going to take a lot of damage from this one, but he's going to manage to style it off. Gigan ready to go, and he uses a Blade Mail, tries to go in for a duel, but he's not going to find it. Now that with the Rupture on him, it's going to be doing some damage to Will for Zoo. 4 staff away by the Coddle, and actually he's going to win the duel. His team ends up doing the damage for him. The Turk, he is going to use the Requiem of Souls, and it will do some damage to Will for Zoo, who has to manage to get away. He had the bug on him. Jericho ready to go, and he's going to blink forward. Doesn't get those shackles onto ODB, who actually gets out. That Blinding Light is not going to stop the TP, and now the Turk right underneath the Sentry Ward. There's going to be the Blood Right, trying to do some damage to him. He's going to be out of the Shadow Blade now, though, and the Lincoln Sphere is gone. That's a dead Turk. Aegis is down. Can they do anything else? Doesn't really look like Power Friendship want to try to help him out at all, and he's actually going to fall here for the 2nd time in a short succession. So a couple of kills there for Canton as Power Friendship get a little bit too aggressive, and we got another pause here. So hopefully whatever the issue is gets resolved quickly. We got some more frogs. I like it. Lots of Arteesies in the game here as well. Did I miss anything? Maybe an Orchid soon for Weaver. Conquo's taking a long time on his Aghanim Scepter. And Saturk will have his Silver Edge soon. Should be pretty effective on the Blood Seeker. Nearly an Octarine Core on Jericho. Crystal Maiden has a 4 staff and a gem. So we are back into this game. And I think, yeah, it is daytime now, so it's a good time for Canton High School to try to get it a little bit aggressive. Enough is hanging out near a double damage room. He'll blink back over to mid to try to keep that pushed out, but the push will probably come in at top. So Turk's still dead for another 45 seconds. So it's actually a really good opportunity for Canton. The recall will bring in enough. Just waiting for their creep wave to get here. So they'll take a tower. There's only one more tower on the map for them to take right now, and they're gonna seemingly go right for it. They just draw the line right over there. They do have to push out that lane a little bit as Ember Spirit goes to get some farm as well as push out bottom. I would assume that he has his... Wait, where did Ember Spirit's balls go? All right, they're right there in the Octarine core. I was like, wait, what the heck? Okay, Darkseer will be hit by the Impale. Lots of damage, and the duel? No duel? There's the wall. Turn around from Canton. Okay. The Ember Spirit in the middle of everything. He's got his Blade Mill on himself. Wilferzu comes into this one. He's going to get the Rupture out onto the Jakiru's. Well, I don't know where he put that Rupture. Maybe it hit a Linking Sphere. I don't know. In any case, looks like Canton are going to have to back away from this one as the Turk looks to be really doing some damage here. Smacks gets into the fight as his illusions are doing quite a bit as well. Naps on the low ground. He's got to be so careful. Shadow Fiend illusion is actually doing a lot of damage to him. Wilferzu manages to go in here. He's doing some damage. Will not be healing off of it as the Turk can't get that kill. Here comes Jericho running in. He's going to be able to get that one. And Smacks is going to be hit by the shackles, the chains, and he'll be... falling as well. 4 heroes dead. They're looking for the 5th one. Gagan gets over to the side. They really want to chase him down, but exactly what can they do here? They already have the... Oh man, Gagan, he might actually get out. There's a blink. There's the chains. There's the blood right. Now the Legion Commander is dead, and the tier 2 tower should be as well. Canton High School really get a nice fight over at mid, and with all these heroes down, they at least want to force the buybacks. Weaver's going to get back into this one here. So is Legion Commander. The Turk wants to hang on to that gold. Blink out by Ember Spirit. So with those buybacks again, Canton is going to get forced out of the base, but this time it might not work as well for them. I mean, Power Friendship admittedly have a better hold on this match than they did last time. But now, again, for the first time in this game, you see that the net worth, I mean, you see it here, is for the first time in favor of Canton High School. It's a fight that really, really was devastating towards Power Friendship. Luckily, they just took Roshan, so it has a possibility of respawning in a minute. Will probably be a bit after that. Oh, they might catch out another one. Legion Commander manages to get out before Jericho gets close with the Syrian Chains, but there's the Rupture out onto Jakiro. Wilferzu moves up here. He's going to be hit by the Spike Carapace, but ODB still trying to get out, uses the Ice Path, but here comes Wilferzu, already pops the BKB, and it's going to be ending soon. Macropyre doing some damage there, but ODB will eventually fall. He should be dead. He's just so tanky. Look how tanky that Jakiro is. It's ridiculous. They did use a lot to try to save him, but at least it's only a Jakiro dying. Poor Jakiro. Roshan is not going to be up for another 20 seconds, and although they do get a good Jakiro kill, it's not really at an opportune time for Canton, and they need a little bit more before they can go for the high ground. Having the Jakiro gone is nice, but they need a lot more before they can make a play towards the base. So both teams a little bit more even at this point in the game. Gagan will be making his way towards the heart of Tarask. We'll have to see how it works for him. I mean, it's going to make him really difficult to try to contend with during the duel. He's been starting to be hit from all sides during it now, and it hasn't been as effective in the past couple of fights. Double damage rune at bottom. That's for anybody to take right now. It's going to be Gagan that pops it up, or picks it up, I guess. But all of the outer towers are down for each team. 1 tier 3 down in the top lane in favor of Power Friendship. And there is so much at stake here. If Power Friendship lose here, they'll be sent to the lower bracket. And Gigan really wants to find a hero here. Still has a double damage rune. Blink away by the... Oh, he really wants to go in on the Crystal Maiden. But the BKB does get used. And she's going to use it onto the Bloodseeker here, who is taking a lot of damage from Smax. There's a Wreck Missiles on the backside. But the Bloodseeker is still getting out. Smax is trying to chase him down. The Geminate Swarm is not going to be enough to get the kill. And Crystal Maiden will end up falling. But that might be enough for Canton High School right now. Jericho now has to get out. It would be really devastating if he ended up going down, but he's going to make his way out over to the side, and only one ends up falling after all of that. Man, that was so close. They got the duel onto the Bloodseeker. Anybody would have done at that point, but at least they can find the Crystal Maiden kill. They would have loved to get the Bloodseeker, but he was just so low and then managed to get out. Very close on him. BKB soon for the Ember Spirits. We see so many of these BKBs getting built up, obviously helping the Bloodseeker to stay alive there. He's going to have a Mjolnir soon. Going to start to really be a force to be reckoned with in terms of damage. And Leech Commander hasn't really been farming up as well as she was. Oh no, this is a bad place for them completely. The Rupture goes out on the Legion, and Bloodseeker, oh, he doesn't have the BKB. She's healing up. Can he actually get the dual win? Looks like he does. Here comes Ember Spirit in the middle of the fight. It's a Turk versus the Ember. Is he going to be able to be evasive enough? Uses a triple remnant to get in. Yule Scepter is going to keep him up in the air. Where's the stunnage? He gets put right in the middle of the ice path. Can he actually get out? He's going to get Force Staff to the side. Force Staff again over to the high ground. Jericho manages to stay alive, and he's still going to be there, but looks like Power of Friendship are chasing him down. He tried to take those bugs down, but he's going to end up falling. Darkseer trying to make his way away right now. He does not have a wall, does not have a vacuum. His vacuum's already been used in the mid lane. Gets the Shiva's Guard on the Smacks. He's going to blink away even with the Diffusal Blade on him, and he'll try to TP out. Looks like he will make it out. Oh, such a close fight. But two big cores going down on the side of Canton, and Roshan is available for Power of Friendship to try to take right now, which I would imagine they would get right on top of. Since we are past the 40 whatever minute mark, we do have both runes spawning now. So Arcane Rune, Invis Rune. It's an interesting change that was put into the game, but you know, why the hell not? Buybacks available in both the Bloodseeker and Ember, and with the tier 3 tower down in top, they're going to go right for the racks there. Buyback on Ember, they're going to use the Fortification. PMA Dota, since it is daytime, can be doing some good heals here. Nyx Assassin is getting caught out in the base, but you know, Shadow Fiend still doing some huge damage. Conkel still trying to get out. Guardian Greaves is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but eventually will end up falling. Jericho taking a lot of damage from the Shadow Fiend. ODB has to try to get out. He's going to try to go for the low, low health TP, but it's not going to happen this time around. They're only going to lose 2 here, but at least they can take the melee racks. Nice amount of gold for Canton after that, but they do lose a building. Pretty important one for them. Jericho tries to go forward. There's still a Roshan available. They didn't actually take that before they went for the push. That could open things up for Canton. They start to go right for Roshan. I would imagine that this belongs to them pretty hard, which would be a good tool for the high ground push. Aegis and Cheese. Gagan gets a little bit closer to the heart of Tarash. Shadow Fiend Illusions will go towards the Roshan pit. Will be stuck outside thanks to the Searing Chains, and will eventually be killed. I don't really see Power of Friendship trying to mount up anything around the Roshan, so it means Aegis and Cheese go to Canton High School, and it could lead to a high ground push by them. They need to make sure that their buybacks are still up, which, you know, after the last one they did use it on the Ember Spirit. Not the Bloodseeker, though. He didn't actually use it to try to defend the base. Bloodseeker does have the Maelstrom. Has the Cheese instead of it right now. And he's picked up a Lincoln Sphere. Alright. Jericho pushing it on the bottom lane. With the Aegis up, he feels like he doesn't need the BKB. At least not immediately. Could easily switch to Boots of Travel for it. He's been putting a lot of focus on taking down Zaturk in most of these fights with the triple remnant. But with the Aegis and Cheese, it might be a good time for Canton to get aggressive. Buybacks down on both Zaturk, Jakiro, and ODB and Conkle. All those buybacks are down. Might want to capitalize on that, but of course, Canton don't really know about that. They know that they did force out some buybacks early, but it's well past the 7-minute cooldown on that. So they'll start to push in through bottom a little bit here. So Turk will go up in that way, and he's got a Satanic for himself now. And we've got Ember Spirit going forward, but doesn't really... Oh, what? Okay. Well, BKB is down for another 50 seconds as Conkle is up here. There's no vision for Canton. There's a double damage rune, though, for Wilfer Zoo. It would have been a really good time for Canton to capitalize on Zaturk not having a BKB, but they'll just keep bottom lane pushed in. It's pretty easy to misclick that sometimes. Blinding Light is going to knock Conkle away in his burrow. Has finally picked up the Aghanim Scepter. Well, for Zoo, he is in Viz, and he has a double damage rune. He seems to be wasting it right now. He is not going to see... Oh, does see Smax now. Smax is feeling himself being burnt, even though Wilfer Zoo is in Viz. The Radiance still is affecting him, and Smax makes it back into the base. Canton High School right now, I mean, they seem to be in a pretty good position, but the Aegis is going to be reclaimed in 2 minutes. So they do have to get a move on sometime. Bloodthorn now completed on Smax, and he still has buyback available. And so does the Turk now. Such a very close game between these two. 53.5 minutes in. And this is the stage of the game where you really can't afford to make any kind of mistake. Shrines are still up for Canton. So Power Friendship. And they do have something that they could go for on the map right now. Some kind of objective. But they seem to be focused on defending their base right now. 1 minute left on the Aegis for Canton. Maybe they just wanted to get it off the map or something. As Jericho is having no mercy towards the regen runes. Screw that. It's time for Canton to start to group up a little bit. And same with Power Friendship. They seem to be going for a smoke as well. Or at least grouping up. There's a smoke on Conkle. Well, I mean, we may as well just watch each team farm for a little bit. 1 minute until daytime, so that's probably what Canton are waiting for. Still just watching these two teams farm, which is pretty fun. Watching farming is really cool if you're Chinese. Ember Spirit's going to go and make sure that bottom is pushed out. And as soon as they see that TP to bottom, Power Friendship are going to smoke up. See if they can catch someone out. Wilfer Zoo is still farming up over at the Ancients. They're going to go into the jungle. Crystal Maiden is at level 25 now, so she has all of that frostbite duration. Conkle moving around Wilferzu, he's going to find everybody. He needs to use his BKB. He uses it to get away. Lincoln Sphere has been popped. There should be... Oh, wait. Lincoln Sphere popped on the duel. And this could be really good for Canton. There's a wall onto a few. Enough is going to get them. Impale goes out on the 2 from Conkle. Conkle's still going to be stuck there, though. They're going to probably be able to find him in his burrow. They do have the vision from the Gem of True Sight. They're still standing in the Mecha Pirate. It seems like they don't really even care, though. ODB trying to get out. Looks like he does make it. It's going to be only the Nyx Assassin going down for now. Didn't really look like Canton wanted to commit onto that too hard. But they do at least get one hero down and stop that smoke from Power of Friendship, with Wilferzu staying live after a very fortuitous duel from the Legion Commander. So with that, Canton High School can continue to push along their lanes. Roshan will not be back yet for a little bit, at least. 57 minutes. Man, they really want to get their money's worth out of this one. Trying to milk their HSL appearances for all they got. Bottom lane is pushing in quite a bit, but Canton High School, they're still hanging out on the dire side of the map, not really pushing in too hard on the lanes. It would make sense to wait until daytime. Well, it is daytime. It would make sense to use the daytime to heal up as they go for the base, or maybe they want to go for an Aegis. Lincoln Sphere could be up soon for enough. What about our buybacks? What do we have for buybacks right now? Everybody except Nyx Assassin has it. Alright. Well, after Canton High School sees someone farming over at top, they're going to try to make a beeline for her. PMA Dota, he's going to be underneath the vision of that Dire Observer, and are they going to get... They don't have vision of the Legion Commander there. Yeah, Coddle has to get over there to see it. Ooh, they could find... No, they don't have smacks. So Canton, they came close to maybe getting a few kills, but they're not going to come close enough. Now Bloodseeker, he's picked up his Mjolnir, so he's going to be a couple of... Well, now he has his buyback once again. He was a couple of gold off for a second. Still sitting inside of the Dire Jungle. Has to be really careful here. But he's feeling very confident. They maybe don't have all the vision that they might like. Roshan, it's going to be a long respawn for him. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Pretty much the longest that it possibly can be. So it's going to give a lot of the time for these teams to try to farm up. Keep it going. Legion Commander will very nearly have her Heart of Tarask. Just wants to make sure she has buyback up at the same time. But these pushes are going to continue. But right now, it still seems like it's Canton High School on the offensive. They're playing most of the time on the enemy side of the map. Got a Mjolnir on Bloodseeker. He's going to be looking for some boots of travel. Oh, looking for a vacuum, but nice blink away from Conkle's going to keep himself alive. So still, I mean, both of these teams continuing to farm, continuing to just feel each other out, not wanting to make that game-ending mistake because, you know, from either one it could be it, although nearly all of them have buyback. Nearly Conkle at this point as well. He's almost gotten... Yeah, he has enough gold now, so everybody has buyback. Nice. Unless somebody decides to get greedy and buy up an item. Smacks, look at that speed with the Shikuchi. I mean, he's going so fast. Nearly managed to pick up Darkseer. But it's not going to quite happen. Wilferzu wants to get Saturk, but he's got a Lincoln Sphere as well. And Bloodseeker's going to get stopped by the Spike Carapace. They're just going to make their way out. So passing the hour mark in this game, things are very tense between Canton and Power Friendship. Are we at everybody having level 25 yet? Nope, just 2 heroes are not there. Canton. Oh, nice vacuum to the other side of the wall onto Conkle. Uses this by Carapace, but this might be a good opportunity for Power Friendship to get in here. Conkle, oh my god, he nearly killed himself. Blinding Light almost gets him there. He is going to be taken out before he goes into the burrow. Macro Power gets placed down onto the Darkseer. Darkseer is going to be hit by the duel. Can they keep him alive? He is going to end up falling during the duel. And Wilferzu, he's nearly been killed off as well. He's doesn't have anything to help himself out. His cheese was in the backpack. That was why. And Power Friendship take down 3 after Nyx Assassin buys back. Naps tries to get out. Jericho. Oh, is that really where you want to be? I guess so. He's going to just stop the bleeding at just 3 kills. But all these heroes have buyback. But the thing is, Roshan, he has respawned, so Power Friendship can get a little bit more for their push here, and they get the Illusion Rune as well. Smacks can use those to push out the lane. There's also a Haste Rune at bottom, but who really cares about that anyway, right? Roshan will go to Power Friendship. We got the net worth lead, only 4k on the side of Canton at this point. This could be another tool for Power Friendship to try to end this game. Canton had a bit of a stranglehold for a while, but now Power Friendship seemed to have broken that one. Cheese picked up on the Shadow Fiend. We've got an Aegis on Weaver as well as the Heart of Tarrasque on him and the Heart of Tarrasque on Legion Commander. So these heroes will be very tanky and difficult to take down. 10 seconds left on the respawn for most of these heroes. I would imagine that's going to be a full set of racks for Power of Friendship. They're going to get through the tier 3 tower. Lincoln Sphere popped on Smacks. He's going to get hit by the Frostbite, and it's going to be taken off by the Moment of Courage. Or the press the attack. I don't know. Vacuum on the 3, and it might be a little bit too early for that initiation. Jericho is going to be right next to him. They're going to try to dodge that Requiem of Souls, and now still have the BKB going. Bloodseeker is going to be taken out. He has the buyback available. He's going to use it to get right back in this fight. So is the Ember Spirit. Looks like the Turk, he hasn't even had to use the, well, he has used the cheese. They're going to try to chase after this one enough. He needs to go forward. Has the wall available. The Turk is not going to walk through it. And, oh, can they actually take down enough? He's very far up right now. Wilferzu, he is healing up right now. He's been silenced. Can he get enough damage out? He is going to get 1. Can he get 2? Vacuum out into the Weaver. He is going to fall. But that Blade Mail from Legion Commander making life so difficult for the Bloodseeker. That's no buyback from him. It's a dieback is enough. Oh, he's so low. He's not going to be taken out just yet. It is still nighttime, so it's difficult for Canton to fight here. Would he be trying to get out? He's going to be stuck there by the Searing Chains. And Yule Scepter is going to make it a little bit slower for him to die, but eventually he will, as only the Weaver gets out of that fight. Very tough fight though from Canton. It forced a couple of buybacks and on some very important heroes, but we still got more Dota to play. So in any case, I mean, as we take a little bit of a chance to pause here during this pause, got Bloodseeker dead for 94 seconds. Most of these heroes on Power Friendship have buyback, except for Nyx Assassin, because he already used it 2 minutes ago. So, I mean, they're not really in too much danger right now, but they can't really take advantage of Bloodseeker being dead for that long. What a game. What a series. I mean, both these matches have been really close. And if Power Friendship win this one, they'll be sending us to a deciding game number 3. So, I mean, clearly a lot at stake for these two teams. Having a stake, that wouldn't be a bad idea right now. Guess the only question is, are we going to see any Divine Rapiers this game? Not really sure how I feel about that effigy from Conkle. You know, I remember when it used to be nearly always pull at 53, and then they changed things. They made it like pull at 54, or pull at 55, or pull at 54 if you have a certain neutral cam spawn. I remember when Dota used to be simple. Some really interesting effigies here. It's a really good YouTube video. Alright. Butterfly seems to be the next item for Smacks. You can put the TP scrolls in his backpack so he doesn't have to worry about the inventory space too much. Don't really see anything hugely important after that. It's just so difficult for the Crystal Maiden and Coddle to stay alive in these fights. As soon as the Weaver gets to those back lines, like, they're probably going to end up dead. It's just so difficult. Ooh. Where is Ember? We've already passed the 64-minute mark here. I don't think we need any more pauses to make this game go longer. You're starting to see really the weakness with Canton's lineup here. I'm sure Bloodseeker can be pretty strong, but in terms of going toe-to-toe with, say, the Legion Commander or the Shadow Fiend, it's just so difficult. So we're really seeing a damage disadvantage for Canton right now. So apparently this is a really long process where one must restart their computer. I would like to go to a break right now, but I really hope that it doesn't take that long. So hopefully everything's okay. Roshan is of course dead. We don't have the Aegis anymore. No cheese either. Shadow Fiend already used that. I guess we could talk about some other things. So TI qualifiers are coming up. The closed qualifier lists were announced. What was interesting to me were the distributions of the qualifiers from the closed qualifiers. So I think it was like 3 from China, 3 from Southeast Asia, 1 from CIS, 2 from Europe, 2 from NA, and 1 from SA, I think was the distribution. That seems really interesting to me. And they found 4 heroes from South America to join the to join the closed qualifier. So they have 6 open qualifier slots in the closed qualifier for South America, and I wonder how that's going to work. Maybe they just have like your quarterfinals, the winners of those get in, and then the losers of those would play each other for 2 slots. I guess that's how it would work. It's really interesting to me how they're breaking that up, though. Alright. So this is still taking a while. Because apparently restarting your computer takes a very long time. Doesn't really for me. Which I'm kind of lucky for. And then of course your 6 direct invites. I don't think there were a whole lot of people surprised by those. There were a couple of strong teams left out, but when you only invite the top 6 teams in the world to the best esports tournament in the world, you're bound to leave out a few teams. which is unfortunate. I mean, it'd be cool if everybody could go to TI, but you can only do so much. So I'm pretty excited to see how TI turns out. And remember that those open qualifiers start in just 3 days, actually. So if you want to hear me talk about Dota more, you can feel free to follow me on twitch.tv/PythianLegume, because I will be casting a couple of the NA qualifiers at least, and I think the EU on Friday is when I'll be doing some of that. Because of course I still have some responsibilities for Paragon. We have our European qualifiers ending this weekend. But I'll still try to cast as much Dota as possible. Ever since the Shanghai qualifiers, I've tried to, get somewhat involved with the open quals, casting them. And then people ask me to do the closed qualifiers, which generally Valve will specifically ask casters to do, and not really surprisingly, they haven't ever asked me to do that. So I just during the closed qualifiers, I just like to sit back and watch all of the other games. All right, looks like we are ready to get back in, but I just like to sit down and watch all the other casters doing their thing, watching all the Dota, because there's so much Dota over 4 days. I think it's pretty cool. But in any case, we have some Dota right here in front of us for us to do, so let's just get right back into it. Canton High School, they seem to have come back with a vengeance here and seem to be ready to push down these towers. Meanwhile, at bottom, Smacks has got a double damage here, and he's definitely not to be trifled with here. They might have to send back more than one to try to deal with this. He's just going to melt the tower. And Jakiro is going to buy back to try to stop that push. Jericho's going to get into this fight. And Smacks is still going to go for the Brax, and he's actually going to get it. He picks up the melee, looking for the range. Naps is going to keep him there. He uses the time-lapse to get back in. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, at the base, though, Ember Spirit's going to go in, looking for the kill onto Jakiro, but they might be wasting their time a little bit here. Looking to get a tier 3 tower, but they're not going to get anything. As Smacks is still taking some racks down in the base. It's 2 supports there to try to deal with him, and that's just not going to be enough. Now enough is actually there. He's still leaking out mana, and now the Syrian Shades is going to pick up the Weaver. He's got a time lapse in a couple seconds. He actually is going to fall, but man, he just wreaks so much havoc in that Radiant base. He actually nearly got Megas all by himself. Now Canton are down to just 2 sets of racks, or not 2 sets, but just 2 buildings that are their racks, and it's just ranged racks, so it's so difficult for them to push out right now. Smacks might have just won his team the game. He's been playing really well this time. You can tell him that he's just very comfortable playing a Weaver. So such very high farm, managed to keep up with the Turk. That's a really funny Jakiro taunt. So Canton High School, they're going to find it really difficult here, but again, don't count them out. They've been in this match nearly the whole time, even when you think that you can count them out. PMA Dota will be able to find the Jakiro. He uses the Guardian Greaves to get himself out. Vacuum's going to pull him away. How far do they want to chase this one? Yulscepter's going to put him up. Blood Rite is going to be there, and he's going to get knocked back with the Blinding Light as well. Illuminate is going to be taking him out, but the Rupture is still going on. ODB managing to stay alive. Bloodseeker could get the tables turned, though, and well, Bloodseeker is going to get dueled out by the Witch Commander. She's going to be stuck underneath the wall, and Bloodseeker still managing to stay alive. He actually is going to end up falling eventually, but so does the Witch Commander. Canton, oh, they've taken out the Weaver as well. Weaver buys back now, and that might knock Canton away from the base. Naps uses the Glimmer Cape to try to get away. Smacks really can't afford to go down here, but I think it's just so difficult to kill him. Canton High School get away with minimal casualties, only the Bloodseeker dying, but this guy has got to stop dying sometime. He did stay alive for quite a while. Roshan will not be here at least for another 3 minutes. And Canton have to go back to defending all of the lanes. You cannot let any one of these get pushed out too much. And Power Friendship are going in through bottom, and it's going to be so easy for Smacks to look at him. He's already getting set up to try to take the top racks at the same time of the push at bottom. But look at that. Enough is going ham inside the base. He's forcing out a couple of TPs. Smacks is going to find the Crystal Maiden and also Jericho. And I guess he will be picking up a double damage rune for himself. He's finding like anything that he wants on the map. Tier 3 tower was taken by Darkseer of all heroes here, but Canton need a lot more than that if they want to contend in this game. They're doing a good job of keeping these lanes pushed out. It's kind of forward thinking of them to be picking up all of these Maelstroms and Mjolnirs. Should be pretty effective at pushing out the lanes. So Turk still going ham onto the Mud Golems here. Poor Mud Golems. They don't have the best faces either. Just not very happy people. Look at that. Poor guy. He got his nose mushed in. Looks like Wilferzu wants to pick up a Satanic. Could be nice if he could stop getting dueled. These players, I mean, they know how much is on the line right now. A spot in the grand final, guaranteed top 2, and an undisclosed prize pool for the HSL. It's a lot to be playing for. Mostly just bragging rights, I would guess. Max does get his butterfly, and look how scared. How scared the Darkseer has to be of just Shadow Fiend illusions. Definitely don't want to be messing with those. Shadow Fiend picks up the MKB because he's just so sick and tired of missing the Bloodseeker. So much evasion on him. So he picks up the MKB, which will make life very difficult for Wilferzu. This game is not over yet. Roshan can respawn in a little bit, but he will not just yet. Canton still with this very slight gold lead, and that's just the fact that their Coddle is really farmed. Ooh, Ember Spirit has to be so careful. I mean, he really doesn't want to get cut off by Gigan, who admittedly doesn't have a good way of breaking a Lincoln, so he doesn't have to be worried too much. As long as there's no one behind the Leech Commander, he's fine. But he definitely could be burst down very quickly if he's not careful. So everybody is now level 25. Everybody's picking up those boots of travels and upgrade boots of travels. Except for the Bloodseeker, he doesn't seem to care. Or the Weaver. Weaver don't need boots anyway. But we're seeing a lot of those from each team. Canton seems to be wanting to push along the top lane right now. Still so much tension, still so much at stake. No one wants to make that game-ending mistake. They don't want to throw. Nobody wants to throw right now, and at this point, both teams could do it. I would say these guys are fairly even. Even with an 8k lead in terms of net worth on Canton, like I said, that's mostly just the Coddle being so far ahead. Enough could be caught out. There's a couple of Invis heroes here, and he's going to get it started with the Spike Carapace. He will get silenced. Here comes the duel. They're going to lose their Darks here, but he can immediately come back into this fight. Konkel's about to fall. They need to get the bonus cone to Leech Commander, and they're not going to be able to get it. Konkel's the only one that ends up dying. And Canton really needed to get a little bit more out of that one. Konkel still has his buyback available. And Darkseer had to buy back to get back here as well. I mean, at least we know the fight, well, the battle may be ending soon. Jericho gets the chains on the ODB. He's going to be managing to get out of the blood right. Wilferzu, oh, he can't get dueled here. Duel is still on cooldown for another 12 seconds. Nyx Assassin buyback. He should be integral to this defense. PMA trying to get out, and the Impale is not going to hit him. Bloodseeker force staffed up to the high ground. Zaturk gets away from the Atos Bloodright. Power Friendship are still going to hold here. With the mid lane pushing in, it really has to be a retreat for Canton. They can't stay in the top lane forever, and Roshan is back up, so this might be a good spot for Power Friendship to go take that. Some more Arteezes in this match. What are they farming for? I guess they can pick up the moon shards, but there's only so much you can do here. Only so much farming you can do. It's going to have to come down to the fights eventually, since everybody is up to level 25. Poor Conkle, he has the lowest net worth at just 12,000. Zaturk going into the pit. Roshan is going to start moving around. Ember Spirit has to get over towards mid, and all of these creeps might be taken down by Gigan, which is really bad. Zaturk with the double damage rune does a lot of damage to Roshan. But it is daytime, and look at this vision for Canton. Like, they see so much of what's going on. Ember Spirit has gotten in here, but enough is going to be TPing over towards bottom. They might just give up Roshan. That's going to be pretty difficult. Enough goes over into the trees, and he's going to be recalled. Okay, that's nice. It's nice to have. Conkle could get caught out. They know where he is. They know exactly where he is. The Rupture, the Mana Leak. He's going to be killed off here. Again. We'll take him. Maybe they can take Roshan now. Gem of True Sight still on ODB, but that's going to be a Roshan belonging to Canton. Just working with their lineup a little bit better, using the recall effectively on Coddle. Now they just have to push out their lanes again once they take this. Look at that huge wave at top. That's ridiculous. Look how huge the melee creeps are in relation to the ranged minions. That's kind of ridiculous.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Oh, those illusions. And remember that the ranged racks don't regen, so this health that they're at is what they're stuck at. One's trying to take him finally by Power Friendship, finally realizing that they can take this. Is that another Zaturk BKB? I think TP's out. That one's a little bit more worth it. Felt like he had to get back to base right away. And the duration isn't going to decrease anymore. It's just locked at 5 seconds. So, you know, may as well make sure that you get back to base free. And right now, Canton don't have anything that will stop a TP through BKB. So maybe Canton High School go for the push here. I mean, Macropyre placed down. ODB will be able to make his way out. They'll go for the range racks right now. Power Friendship trying to defend this. They're going to, get the Bloodthorn out onto the Ember Spirit, and he's going to BKB. They're going to take down Zaturk. He has buyback available, has to use the Gigan. We'll get the duel off onto Chris Min, who will very quickly fall here. Buyback by Zaturk as well for Zoo. I think he ate the cheese there, but look at that. He's just taking way too much damage. PMA will eventually fall. So does the Bloodseeker, and Ember Spirit is going to die as well. All these heroes have buyback. Enough trying to make his way out, but the melee racks has fallen. Can they clean up enough? Looks like he's going to try to juke out. And there's also regen rune for him. And he'll BKB and make his way out of there. That's actually a 7-second BKB that he ended up using there. But maybe he just wanted to be more like Zaturk. Full set of racks in the mid lane. But it costs so many buybacks from Canton. They can't afford anything like that ever again. And Power Friendship might be taking advantage of that right now. With a push down the mid lane, they might sense their victory in the cards here. Smack's ready to go all the way for the win. Wants to get the bottom racks. He should be able to take it out so quickly. And he uses the Mantis style. He uses the time lapse to get out. And they can't defend that racks. Buyback by both the CM and the Coddle. Smack's forcing out Some more buybacks from Canton. He's really playing every bit of the Weaver this match. He's buying up another Diffusal Blade. So many buybacks are down. Canton probably want to wait until the next daytime before they push again. Got a Scythe of Vice now on Bloodseeker. And Crystal Maiden just wants her Aghanim Scepter. Canton feeling confident still. I mean, even though they have most of their buybacks down, only one Rex remaining between them and Mega Creeps. They have to be so careful right now. They have to make sure all of their lanes are pushed out. But still, they seem confident. They're willing to put the pressure on the power of friendship. So many teams have fallen so far in these playoffs. 78.5 minutes. Smacks with the double damage, and he could absolutely blow up PMA if the Coddle isn't careful. And he sees exactly where Smacks is. With the Gem of True Sight, there he is. Time lapse over. They're going to get that Lincoln's popped, and Wilford Zoo, he's going to pop it right next to him. Rupture should be there. The Scythe device, they could pick up Smacks here, who does not have buyback. That's a huge kill. Oh, he does have buyback. Oh, well, I'm stupid. It could be a huge kill for Power of Friendship. They need to force something out of this, so really punishing Smacks for taking all of their racks. Canton High School. I mean, they can smell victory. They just need to get a couple more of these pickoffs. Very unlucky of Smacks to run right into Wilford Zoo there, who at this point had the Scythe of Vice. Just so difficult for the Weaver to fight through. I mean, you can't fight through it, honestly. Unless maybe you're the Tide Hunter, if there were a Tide Hunter. But now it's time to kill the Shrines. A little bit of very small net worth lead on the side of Power of Friendship now. Where's our buybacks? Buybacks only on Weaver, Jakiro, and Legion Commander. So we expect Power of Friendship to have the advantage here. Guess that was the Aegis expiring. Yeah. Top lane pushes in. Jericho ready to go. We still have enough over at bottom. He can be recalled. But he still wants to keep that pushing in. Haste rune on Canton. It is now daytime. So as soon as they get the bottom lane pushed out enough, they can start thinking about going for the base. Maybe they just decide to go in through bottom. So many double damage runes, so many runes over on the map. PMA Dota, look at this valiant man going for the shrine all by his lonesome here. They know exactly where he is. Like, oh look, it's only a Coddle trying to kill our shrine. Could be the greatest bait ever by Canton. But it's actually not. He's just killing the shrine by himself. Doing some pretty good damage to that as well. Wilford Zoom makes his way back to the base, has the boot to travel, and he's going to be recalled back into the jungle. Maybe they smoke here. Yeah, they do. Crystal Maiden won't be part of that. So she's just going to have to look at the rest of her team and wish that she were as cool as them. Canton High School, I mean, they need to keep all of these lanes pushed out, but it's so difficult against these Mega Creeps. There's going to be very natural pressure just pushing back towards themselves, and there's really nothing that they can do with this smoke right now, because Power of Friendship are playing it so safe. They have a lot of vision, thanks to the Coddle Ags, but they don't really have anywhere to go with this one, and they have to make sure that their lanes are pushed out. So that's going to be a very short-lived smoke for them and not very effective at all. Wilford Zoo goes back over to top to take care of that. Bottom needs to be pushed out again. Power Friendship might go for a smoke themselves. There is one on the Jakiro. We might be seeing another Roshan. 82 minutes. We have buybacks on Darkseer and 4 members of the Dire side. 1 minute 45 left on the Turks, and he needs a little bit more gold for it as well, which he should be able to find. Has Weaver picked up a Moon Shard? Looks like he will. He has that level 2 Diffusal Blade recipe up. Just wants to make sure that he's full out on everything. He hardly even pushed out bottom. They can't let even one of these lanes get far enough back. So they send the Coddle to take care of it. Like, even if one of these lanes gets even close to the Radiant base, Max can come in and just take everything. Or Zatur can TP in and take everything. Like, there's just such a small margin for error on the Canton side. And Power of Friendship. You know, they're keeping their wits about them. They're not making any stupid plays. Jakira is so cute, honestly. Alright, Roshan's actually up. A very short respawn. So, I mean, that should favor Canton right now because Power of Friendship are still stuck inside their base. Canton have been back to building up a 6k net worth lead. So Roshan is up. Does Ember Spirit actually scout it out? Interestingly enough, I don't know if we've been seeing the time stamps anymore. I don't know if you can still see that in spectator mode. But I know, again, for a lot of the pro teams, they would do it all the time. Oh, shoot. Nice dodge by Smacks. Do they have the vision of him? They actually do get it. He's going to time-lapse back over. They turn him into a pig, but he's very fast pig. Moving so fast. And they're going to catch him out. And he has the Manta style to be able to get away. They're going to chase this bug for so long. Wasting so much of their time. He might try to go through the back door. He's going to do it. Oh, he's going to do it. He's inside the base. They have to TV back right now. And they're going to. Smacks is like, no. You're not going to catch me right now. This could be a really good bait if he actually worked it out like that. Roshan's still available. Look at where those creeps went. They went on a freaking adventure. And we're still going here at 85 minutes. I don't know if this is a record in HSL, but it's certainly up there. Roshan's still up. I might like to take down those illusions. And Nuff actually uses the Scythe device to take care of one of them. Well, Roshan is up. I don't think Power of Friendship are going to contest this. They seem to be more focused on the bottom lane, making sure that's pushed out with the Shadow Fiend illusions. This is what, 4th Roshan of the game? It seems kind of low for 85.5 minutes. But what the heck, may as well. Is it time for creep battles, ladies and gentlemen? Because that seems like the most interesting thing that's happening right now. Aegis on Bloodseeker. He drops the Radiance for it into his backpack. Cheese will be on him in the backpack as well. And Ember Spirit might have put himself in a really bad situation. Bloodseeker's going to be there as well. Do they actually decide to fight here? The bug is going to come through. There's the Impale on the 2. That is the fight. Exactly what they wanted for Christmas. There's the Aegis popped. And Radiance is going to go in there as well. Goodbye. That is not a Bloodseeker that lives in any sense of the word. Double buyback. They have to try to defend here. That was just really unfortunate, and Conk was in the right place at the right time. Over in mid, Crystal Maiden has to get away from these. Smacks will be going up, going right for the base, and they'll be able to catch him out. There's the Atos. They have to be able to get him down here. BKB by a few. Can they kill off the Weaver? Looks like they do. And he's got a buyback available. Does he just buy back in time lapse? And no, not just yet. Crystal Maiden buys back. Keeper Delay is going to be dead. If Wilfred Zoo dies here, that would be huge. Scythe device out on